Kamara Drive-In. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Buffalo Bills. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they come in really scuffling. Losers of 7 of their last 8 games.
And they've been an underachieving team, but they do have some pretty good pieces in place. Let's see if they can use some of the younger guys and make themselves better.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write, possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Green. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
They'll get this out wide to Boyd. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Green to throw on 2nd down. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much since.
Hey, Zoo.
Now back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They start the drive with Connor, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. A look now at the Buffalo defense. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. This is Connor. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Let's take it inside his own 40. yards. Well done on the return. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
Hey, echo.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd and 10. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. The open man is Shark. It's complete.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. New York set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a 1st. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Looking to throw. Green. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This quarterback now just 1 for 5 since coming on, but that one gets him a 1st and 10 here.
58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike. Watch the run, watch the run. Hey, seam 6, seam 6. Bang, bang.
He'll look to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after, and now it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. This one complete to Lacey. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 14. First trip to the red zone for the Bills. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Bills will add on to their lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Connor. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 3rd down, Green looking deep downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And he uncorks a beauty, best of the day. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Might have needed just one more block as it stands, 37-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
This quarterback now, 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Now a first down throw complete downfield. Oh, the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Looking to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Juju Smith-Schuster with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Elliott now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. They have the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Time for Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense to take over now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game.
Check pass.
Ready. To throw is Green. Throwing on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This is taken at his 4. Shrugs him off. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense heading back out. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that great Tyler Boyd, he's going to go past the 20 and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Tyler Boyd, 77 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make it 24-7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll look to throw here. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. They'll get 34 yards there.
Come on now, let's go.
Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. From 8 yards out, and the Bills will add on to their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Time for Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense to take over now. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Now this is picked up by the Bills. The 30. 10. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys,
under pressure, and they got to him again. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Green. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's the Jets punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's Jones on the return. Now a hit and a football.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
They'll come out throwing here on first down. That one complete. He finds Sharp.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
A very short field to work with now. First and goal after the great punt return.
Here we go. Here we go.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris.
Let's go. Interception on deck, baby.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter three. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. He returns the kickoff and even 90 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that...
Ready up.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it.
Last stop. Last stop.
Brings up 3rd and inches.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Connor, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's the Jets punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Bills to take over. They were winners over the Dolphins last week. They are on top right now as well as they come up 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, high 7.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a 1st down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Stop your body.
They'll set up to throw. Sharks got it left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 36 yards on the play.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Jets set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career, that draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Really solid effort for him right now. 3rd quarter, already 4 touchdown passes. How many can he get here?
That remains to be seen, but I know one thing. You and I will be here to watch, and I'm not going anywhere. With what he's doing in this contest, I'm not missing a minute of it. This guy's been spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game, but sometimes these individual performances are fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of come to the front, despite the fact, as you said, we know it's all about the team. But the way he's playing, he's trying to make his team win on his back.
Yeah, it's been exciting. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Greystone, travel. 6'6", bullet high, snap.
And now a carry here for their fullback. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight-line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field. Not a recipe for success. That time a loss.
64, weak.
2nd and 11. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
58's the Mike. 58's the Mike. Get it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, you might want to get out of the way.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
70, Indy. Hey, Haywood.
2nd and 3. His throw incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
But the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Kill. Turn it up. 61, matchbox lights.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
132 fighter.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
You draw Corkers. Hey, Alpha. Check 3. Ready?
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Shit. Alert flare. 5.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. It's the fullback. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Elliott on for the extra point. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So out now come the Jets. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Draw play, and it's Snell. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Here's Jones. A little juke. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Topper!
Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Came up about a yard short, but I can't help it, Brandon. I love it when the big guy gets the football and he tries to babble his way forward. There's something about those guys carrying the ball and watching people trying to stop them. That's just great theater.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
On the ground, Kamara. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Alvin Kamara with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the Snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And New York set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually get kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6. Under pressure, they got him again.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 27 yards there, a first down.
70, Indy. I'm scared. 57. Let's go.
Now Green on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Green. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch one. 6-6. Pull it high.
Now a first down carry by Jones. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing too.
Oh, she's singing.
She's on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense heading back out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? It's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And the drive starts with a completion left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Green down, looking to throw on second down. Benny Snell, the intended receiver that time, and it's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Back to throw. Green. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
A gain of 14. First down, New York.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Buffalo, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the